let's try this again. Sorry about that. I'm just a little tired since someone walked in. But anyway, start this off. What this is, it's a Vergil guide that I've been trying to do for the past 13 years. It's not exactly the way I intended to do it. I actually recorded like about a quarter of the footage I was trying to do, but my laptop died all those years ago, and I haven't touched this guide since. Recently, I was reading over my guide from that I typed up a very, very long time ago, and I got inspired to just try and restart it or to complete it in some way, shape, or form to help people who wanted to play this character. It's not necessarily intended to be new tech. Maybe show you some stuff, but a lot of this stuff is most likely going to be outdated since it's like 13 years old. But I'm hoping that it could be of help to anybody who decides to come across it. Yeah, I think that's about it. As far as what the background is for this. So yeah, just hope you guys enjoy. For starters, this obviously is Vergil here from Devil May Cry 3. A lot of his moveset is pulled from Devil May Cry 3. I believe that was his only iteration up to this point. I don't think Special Edition 4 came out until years later. So yeah, he borrows a lot of his moveset from that game. Obviously, for those who don't know, he is Dante's, I think he's older brother. They're twins. Both trying to vie for the he was trying to vie for the power of Sparta, blah 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 blah. It's not important to this game. But what you do need to know is that Vergil is considered a better character than Dante for a multitude of reasons. His attack strength in X Factor and Double Trigger is ridiculous. His combos are kind of damaging, pretty damaging, some of the highest damaging in the game. Yeah, so as far as that goes, let's get into his movement. His movement, he has a walk, a back walk, front walk. Nothing really special about them. I think it's actually the slowest in the game. Comparative, like, I know Akuma's is probably faster, or maybe some other characters are probably faster than him. What else does he have? He has a jump. His jump is not the jump is pretty standard jump. It's nothing special, Like someone like Hawkeye is a little bit floatier. Spider-Man, I think, is floatier as well. He has a back dash, front dash, pretty standard. His front dash though is pretty good because it actually gets low, so you can end up actually crossing up people at certain heights. Back dash. Most of his back dash distance is covered in the back roll, like you see here. And he also gets access to like your flint dashes, raid dashes, and stuff like that as well. There's an option stuff right there. But yeah, as you can see, like his back dash is the distance is covered as well. And also he has a super jump too. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing really spectacular, but he also has a wall jump right here, which is really good for getting out of corner situations in certain aspects. But yeah, he doesn't really have any air dashes or double jumps, at least in his base form. So what that means is that basically incoming Vergil is susceptible to a lot of mix-ups, or incoming mix-ups. So that's actually probably the reason why I wanted to make this guide, because I was such an advocate for Vergil being on point, because I felt that he has a lot of strong tools, and even though he does have some weaknesses, which I'll get into as well, he his assist could definitely cover up and not only make up for his weaknesses, but also highlight his strengths as well. Also for movement, I forgot to mention, tricks, teleports. I'll get more into those later on, just so y'all could, I consider them more special moves, which I'll cover later on. So, also, one last thing about Vergil is that I consider personally Vergil to be kind of a very precise character, and what I mean is that Vergil has one of his weaknesses being that he can't whiff cancel his normal. For example, right there, I just tried to do a medium judgment cut. It didn't come out. And normally in the versus game that doesn't really matter, because you're throwing assists out, your movement, you have good movement and stuff like that. But it's also something to keep in mind as well. And another reason why I say he's a precise character too is because his attacks, a lot of his normal attacks, they have they have very limited active frames. Like this has like maybe 3 active frames. That has like I think 3, I believe. So it's a little bit easier to whip on attacks if you're not careful. So you just have to keep that in mind. So outside of that, let's move to his standard attacks. And the first one being standing normal. Standing normal is not rapid cancelable. Itself, it's like 6 frames, comes out pretty fast, relatively quickly than most of the cast. Its strength is that it actually has a lot of distance. Like that's like most people's medium attacks right there. It actually also has some anti-air properties as well. You can hit people in the air with it. I wouldn't recommend it using it as like a reliable anti-air, but it can anti-air if you need to. Yeah. All right. So, see what other notes I had here for this. Besides that, I think it's just a good like kind of check in the air as well. Or no, sorry, it's down. But yeah, it's kind of a good check. You use it as dagger later on in combos. But yeah, other than that, it's not really too special. All right, and then we're gonna get into his crouching light now. His crouching light is actually Vergil's fastest attack that he has. The 5 frame startup, it only hits 2 frames though. So again, going back to what I mean by Vergil is a precise character. Compared to his others, his standing light, it's definitely, I think it's a little bit the one you should use to start combos. 1, it's a light. 2, hits really low. It's not as far reaching as his standing light, so that's the advantage standing light has over it. But it being fast and it reaching as far as it does, you know, I think it's a decent trade-off, and it's definitely the superior option to go to. And also, I forgot to mention, his standing light is -3 on block, so it is relatively safe. You know, like most people won't be able to punish standing light if you decide to say, okay, you know, I'm gonna back off. Crouching light, however, is -6 on block, so now you start getting into a little bit more of a punishable range with some characters. So just keep that in mind. His air light right here, this it's pretty decent. It pretty much is like, again, I feel like a lot of Vergil's like medium attacks they level up in the sense that his light attacks are basically, you know, most characters' medium attacks and stuff like that. But his jumping light comes out pretty fast. It's about 6 frames. You know, same as the standing light. I only found use for this to kind of check people who might want to be air grabbing. It's not really. It can be a good like come down attack to kind of surprise people, but you know, besides that, not really useful in a combo. This is my personal opinion with it. All right. It does have his. What are you? Oh, you can use it for this. Found it. Guys, one more time, if not, I'll move on. Alright, you know what, I'll just move on. I'll just show it on later. Hopefully I'll hit it later. But yeah, yeah, it doesn't really have, and jumping like pretty much doesn't have any other practical use besides just checking people who might be trying to aircraft you. Or surprising surprise overhead on a landing. Besides that, nothing really useful. Alright, moving on. Standing medium. Standing medium, it has about a 8 frame startup. This move is, I have a love-hate relationship with it because it does cover some ground a little bit, but there also is kind of a hindrance, because I've had some times when I was playing, if I try to do standing medium, it actually end up whiffing on certain characters who are crouching. Depending on their distance. I believe Spider-Man's one of them. I think Hawkeye might be another one, but most generally characters who end up getting low to the ground. This attack, more or less is just combo fodder. You just use it to kind of confirm if you want to. It does have some anti-air properties. But it's a little bit harder to hit when you're standing light. So it's, yeah. So besides that, yeah, it's just more or less just combo fodder. Nothing really spectacular about it. Crouching medium. I actually think crouching medium might be better than standing. Standing medium. Oh wow, yeah. Distance wise, it almost doesn't matter. Yeah, no, it's a little bit more distance. So yeah, the only advantage of using standing medium is the distance for the distance covered. That's the one advantage it has. Crouching medium, it's pretty standard. It's basically like you're standing. It's just basically another combo fodder for lows. That's its advantage. It's also actually no, it's about the same frames. Yeah, about the same frames. But the thing about it is, this is about 2 frames, 2 active frames. This one being 3. But the frames are kind of skewed with standing medium. So personal opinion, crouching medium is definitely the better option to go to. I think standing medium could be a little bit unreliable. Now, this is where I get into like some of his really good normal. His standing medium, or his jumping medium rather, is actually pretty good. It comes out pretty fast. It's actually compared to Dormammu's in a sense, where it's like a really, really good air to air. Here, so you want more jumping. Comes out pretty fast. Yeah, sorry, my headphone actually doesn't have audio in the on the right side for some reason. But yeah, really good air to air, pretty fast. I honestly think it's some of the best. And it actually has another special property, which I hope I can show you. And let's go setting this. Use the technical difficulty. I literally just jumped onto it and trying to do I probably haven't done in years. Oh, there we go. So do it. Nah, do nothing like that. Yeah, so we're going back to get this question.
Normal. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That's right. The 3rd chapter. The superheroes are all here. Who will rise to the top? Training room. Let your fist do the talking. Ready? Fight! First attack! Level 3! Maximum! Snap back! Maximum! Grace of Hugger! Flames of the Voltine! Grace of Hugger! Flames of the Voltine!
Right there. So Vergil, this jumping medium actually could cancel projectiles.
Flames of the Voltine!
It's well timed.
Flames of the Voltine!
Right there, like right there, like didn't get all of it. Yeah, but right there, as you can see, so it can cancel projectiles. It's not really a reliable. It's just something that's nice to have, so to speak. And I think that will do it for the medium attack. Yeah, I think. All right, moving on. Alright, so now we got a standing heavy. This move is one of Vergil's best normal attacks. Far reaching, you know, I'm like over let's see. So if you're about half screen away from them, you almost hit them. Standing like about what? I wanna say 33% away from the screen. Can hit characters really well. Very big, can be used as an anti-air. Oh no. As you can see. So the thing about it is that makes this move actually disgusting is like the fact that it's pretty fast, it's hard hitting, and you know, it moves you forward, which could be both a gift and a curse if you're not careful. The fact that the backswing of it actually could be an anti-air, which could actually help cross people up on incoming. Okay, which could be really hard to see for some people. So yeah, this move is definitely one of Vergil's best attacks. Yeah, I definitely end up using it for like mid-screen pokes. But again, it goes back to what I was saying about Vergil's protect characters. This move has about 3 active frames. So again, it can be relatively, as you can see right there, it can be kind of easy to whip. So yeah, use it definitely in your combos. Just be careful when you're using it because, you know, it can end up whipping, and if it does whip, right there, you can't really move for a good, what is it, 33 frames, so like, yeah, about half a second. If you do miss with this attack, yeah, you gotta be sure you gotta cancel with a hype, for sure, to make it tick. Just to keep that in mind. What else? Oh, as I was supposed to say, this attack also has projectiles and can also nullify projectiles as well. Actually, I should have picked Dormammu because there's something that's like really tricky with the spin heavy that could kind of get you caught up. But I guess it doesn't matter. I guess maybe I'll show that later on. Yeah, that's basically Vergil's standing heavy in a nutshell. Good attack, it's a great poke, moves you forward, just good enough damage as you can see here. Good anti-air, good for incoming cross-ups. Just again, be precise when you're using it because you can get punished. Yeah, they have a half second to react. Alright, so crouching heavy. This attack right here is probably one of Vergil's most used attacks. You don't really use it in your combos when you're starting. You're probably better off using standing heavy, but crouching heavy is integral to his sword loop. As this attack causes a soft knockdown every single time you hit. So it's not you know, susceptible to hits and deterioration. See here, let me get oh wow, I really can't do that. Let's try one more time. One more. Ooh. You're going down. You're mine. Oh, that actually missed. Wow. Sure. Is it there? Okay. Wow, I'm frustrated. I'm still rough. But yeah. So basically, as you can saw through that combo, his crouching heavy, pretty integral to his loops. You will end up using it a lot. Also, something special about crouching heavy, even though it is about -6 on block, it's actually relatively safe because better. Oh, okay. It actually pushes Vergil pretty far away after you hit. So yeah, this is actually pretty safe as a string. Because I don't think most characters won't be able to punish that. -6, plus the amount of distance from the pushback, most characters won't be able to hit you, if any at all. Maybe if the X Factor, but we're not really talking about X Factor stuff like that now. But yeah, let's move on. Jumping heavy has a pretty good distance, as you can see here. The thing about jumping heavy though is that this thing has two active frames on it. So again, goes back to the same versus precise. This could actually cross up too on certain aspects. Yeah, like that. It actually cross up as well. But besides that, you're just basically using this just to stuck your as combo fodder for your air combos. So that's about that. This could also nullify projectiles. See here. Oh, I forgot to say the crouching heavy could nullify projectiles. Alright. Yeah, as you can see right there. That. I mean, this just proves the point that you can't really reliably use this as to kind of counter projectiles. So the timing's pretty strict on it. So yeah, again, nice to have, not really necessary. Crouching heavy could do it as well. Probably better if I use anyway, yeah. So that's that. That pretty much covers versus crouch heavy attacks as well. And then obviously his S. His S is disgustingly good because just like his standing heavy, we go forward, has pretty good range. We move forward a little bit, but what makes this move disgusting is the fact that you kind of the hitbox on it is pretty ridiculous for the jumping as far as in the air. And I've personally I use this a lot for incoming mix-ups. Like that. It's really disgusting. So with Vergil's dash, plus the standing 8 plus its special, it can be very hard for people to... See? Disgusting. It can be very, very hard for people to block that on incoming. Personally, that's what I use it for. But then you must be asking yourself, but Mark, oh, that's my name. Well, Killer Rock or whatever. But Killer Rock, what if they guard on incoming? Well, that's when you start getting to your command attack. So if they do guard on incoming, actually that's right. Guard. You could do stutter attack, which is actually really good. This is a command normal, which is called what is this called? I think it's called Upper Slash. Yeah, I think it's called Upper Slash. Upper Slash itself is only accessible after you do your standing S. This move is actually Vergil's best move, because by itself, this best move. If you could do it like by itself, this move would be absolutely disgusting. Because it's definitely really fast. Like, this is like a 5-frame startup. 5-frame startup. This is pretty good from it. But unfortunately, it's only accessible to S. When you use this attack, it causes a ground bounce. It uses up a ground bounce. So if you use a ground bounce already, they're rolling. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, this is good for extending combos in the corners. You can be really creative with it. Yeah, that pretty much covers that. What else? Oh, and one more special thing about standing up. Or not standing up. Upper Slash. Special cancelable. So in the event they do, guard, you cancel the special base. You can't do anything about that unless there's have a very fast acting hyper attack or say a hyper combo, or actually strength has it too with his projectile counter. Alright, and then moving on to the rest of those command normals. Let's do here. Stinger. This thing. At first glance, Stinger is actually pretty good for Vergil. You can use it as combo fodder. So it's like say you go scan H, the Stinger. Pretty good for extra damage. But the reason Stinger is pretty good is because this is a cover. Scan H won't hit you here, but Stinger will. So a lot of times Stinger can catch people on hit or blocking. If they block, you know, you could obviously do something like that to make yourself safe. Not a true block string, but it's actually really good. It's actually a really good a block string. But they just have to push block, but and that won't be.
Here I am. Yes. Advancing guard. Advancing guard.
Kind of wild. I never noticed that before. Wow. Okay, so if you advance guard to every single hit on the Justin type. That's wow. Advance guard to every single hit. Yeah. And that's just sorry, but yeah. So Stinger is good for hitting people further than standing 8 hit though. The one downside of I should also mention too, if you hit an airborne opponent, it always wall bounces. Well, not always, but it uses up a wall bounce. So that's something you also have to be careful of. So for example, if you do so hey, not like that. There you go. So yeah, if you use up your wall bounce, it actually just causes a soft knockdown. But one thing to be careful about too is that if your combo is too long, I can't even do magic. Huh. Oh, I know why. Almost. Okay. Thanks for the oh, he's down now. Oh, interesting. What? Okay. Oh, okay. This is weird. There's one.
You're going down. You're mine. Take this.
Yeah, right there. So as you saw right there, if the hits and deterioration is too high, Stinger actually won't wall bounce, even if you have one, if you're trying to do the wall bounce too far. So keep that in mind. Kind of like surprisingly corner dependent. But yeah, I've got one to mention one more normal attack. Vergil's jump S, it actually is Starfall. It's similar to his Killer B, I think was called for Dante. The ground bounces. The difference between Vergil's and Dante's though is that Vergil's is actually 0 on block. I think Dante's is like -2 or 3 or something like that. This always calls the ground bounce when you hit. If you use another one in the combo, I think that it's basically the same thing as well. If you yeah. Yeah. So that yeah. But if you basically if you don't use an S, it causes a ground knock. But if you do use an S, it causes a hard knockdown every single time. This attack is only useful for two reasons. One, extending a combo if you're doing like this. Oh, what? This. Oh, wow, I can't end it. Just extending combos like that. And it also, if you use it early in a Magic series, it's actually pretty good for getting your opponent into the corner. As such. Yeah, as you can see, they're pretty far in the corner. Corner coast to coast pretty much. So that's the only two uses it has. It actually has a third use, which is I guess I'll talk about later on because it involves a hyper combo. So yeah, as you can see here, Magic series doesn't work. The full Magic series doesn't work unless you hit, unless the point is airborne. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Jump S, Starfall, Ground Bounce, causes, only good in early combo farm, only good in early Magic series, and good for extended combos. Let me say that. Oh, another special property about this move is that if you use this move in the air, it's actually special cancelable. But if you use it on the ground, not special cancelable. I don't know why they did it that way. I feel like it would have been made a lot more useful move. That way you can, kind of go return to the ground at an angle, and be able to start a hyper combo. But I guess they didn't want to make it too broken, so to speak. Combo, right. The one thing bad about this move is that if they do decide to jump and you use this move and they hit, yeah, they could if they jump and they guard, they actually can punish you. Just like any other chicken guard like that. Because it actually has like ending lag on it. So yeah, I wouldn't use this move outside of combos. I wouldn't just use it just because. You might get lucky and hit somebody who was not paying attention to a dive kick, because dive kicks are powerful and all, but generally speaking, only using in combos. Alright, now that we covered them, now that we have officially covered his normals, let's go back to his command. Let's see. So we explained Stinger. Oh, one last thing about Stinger too. If you whiff on Stinger, you have to cancel into a hyper combo because you are basically like defenseless for about 30 seconds. So if you Stinger and cancel to a hyper combo, get stuff like distance, but always just if you whiff Stinger, try to make it safe. Either by using assist. That's a long assist, but yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so that's that. Let's see. Thornbreaker next. It's basically the same as Dante's Jump S. The difference means that Vergil's is better. Doesn't have nearly as much range as Dante. I think Dante's has a better hitbox as well, but Vergil's is pretty fast. This is basically your that basically is your finisher that you want to use for your air combos. It's pretty fast because in the high hits on deterioration, let me see. High hits and deterioration. High hits and deterioration combos. Jump S is not good enough, as you can see right there. So Helmbreaker is. So that's like the advantage. Helmbreaker definitely is going to be your ender for your Magic series on most occasions. It's not an overhead, despite the fact that you actually are you doing in the air, which is I think that's one advantage Dante has over Vergil. So it's not an overhead. Good thing is it actually is 0 on block, so no one has any advantage. But obviously, if you chicken guard it, you're susceptible to being punished. But the good thing about Helmbreaker is on the ground, Helmbreaker is touch cancelable. So you use stuff like that. You also cancel into teleports, obviously, because they're specials. But another thing too is it's one of Vergil's few attacks that you cancel on whip into something. So if you whip it by pressing a low, you can teleport for trick L, trick medium, and trick high. Has its uses, but you know it's situational at best. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that. But yeah, what else? Oh, one thing I do like though, what I was using before I stopped playing was oh, there you go. A little bit of dirty stuff. But again, this is again frame 0. You know, so you might have they might be able to grab you or do something about it. Just be careful with that. Yeah. So yeah, just a little trick for the stage right there. What else about Helmbreaker? Pretty good at just doing this. It's pretty much your standard. It's a block. Keep your pressure up. Let's see. Oh, but the thing about Helmbreaker 2, what makes it good is that you can it calls it a hard knockdown. So with the hard knockdown, you combo after it. By himself, Vergil can only do high time, and I think in certain special cases you could do summon swords, but it's really hard. I think you probably need I think taller characters it works on, but it's pretty inconsistent. Cancel on whiff, I think the best way to optimize this though is if you have a assist. That's an OTG. So if you're normal jumping, that's pretty good. So that means that you could basically convert off of any Helmbreaker. That's pretty decent damage as well. Yeah, I think that is it for Helmbreaker. Yeah, alright. Cover upper slash. I saw it before. The next move I want to talk about is high time. High time is this. It goes up to super jump height a little bit. And you could possibly use it as an anti-air. I don't know if I would though. It's not really a reliable anti-air. It's just like another move he has. Not total super jump height, but it has him on the way down. Yeah, that might be a super jump height. But the main use for this move though is not the anti-air or anything like that. Its only use is really just to confirm off of Helmbreaker. Only time you should be using this move, or generally speaking, you probably have two options to use two options to use high time. High time into X Factor to get a full combo. High time into Double Cut. Yeah, get some nice damage. Get a little bit of nice damage. It actually has more uses as well when you have X Factor, but I'll get into that one later on. So now we're moving into special. And this was like the meat and potatoes I feel my guide. Because people need to understand Judgment Cut has a 25 frame startup. Pretty long for a projectile. But as you can see here, when he does Judgment Cut, take a step back. So you kind of create some distance from yourself. So it really kind of makes it a little bit safer as an option. Up to light, right in front of him, medium, you know, about halfway. Heavy, it's almost full screen, not necessarily though, because if you go over here, it's not hitting anybody.
Here I am. There. Here I am. Here I am.
Uh-oh.
Here I am. There. Here I am. Here I am. There. Here I am.
But yeah, as you can see, full screen, not really hitting. Yeah. Okay, so this move has like two uses. One, defensively. So, if, for example, if they do guard your attack, you can throw out a Justin Cut, and Justin Cut will keep you relatively safe. Again, it's not frame perfect. It's not like a it's not what's it called? I guess yeah, it's not frame perfect guard. Like it's not a total guard situation, but it can keep you safe against most characters, and they will have the time using whatever resource they want to use in order to counter perfectly. The reason why I like using Judgment Cut defensively because it kind of keeps them safe, and you actually have a lot of frame advantage as well, especially between like light. Yeah, like light, they have to eat that. Like if light doesn't cut, they don't push block it, they're eating an attack out. They have to guard an attack, even if they try to you know, guard, or if they try to attack, you know, they're gonna get hit with a counter move. Medium is generally probably your most go-to because if you that's light. Medium pretty much covers most of your bases in most situations. So if you see someone guarding, medium is definitely like your most go-to. It's relatively safe. The only thing is that you lose the distance that light gives you, or the ability to stay in their face the light gives you. But obviously you gotta be careful and kind of know your distances with your Justin Cuts. But that's one way to use it defensively. Another way is if they are coming at you. I probably should. Do I have? Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Maximum.
So. Alright, let's see if this works. If they're coming at you, not air dash. I probably better if I do this, right? That's probably better. But it actually could act as an anti-air if they're telegraphing their move. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying that it works 100% of the time, but if they're really just doing super jumps and trying to telegraph, and then telegraphing their moves pretty much, like, oh, we definitely know that they're gonna come in with a jump or with some type of attack, heavy attack or something like that. You can use Judgment Cut to actually hit them out the air. And if they're not careful, you get a full combo off of it. So yeah, it's like one really defensive option. You turn defense into offense. Offensively, Judgment Cut only has one purpose, and that's to extend the combos. And this is actually pretty integral to your summon sword loop. Yeah.
You're going down. You're mine. Take this.
As you can see, like Judgment Cut's right there. Oh, I like this backboard. I just put up. But yeah, as you can see, Judgment Cut's integral to the summon sword loop, and that's probably the best way, best use of it offensively. What else is there? Oh, for confirming off of Judgment Cut, if you catch them like that, you need I think like Judgment Cut actually. Hold on. If I remember correctly, like Judgment Cut on the ground, you can actually. I think like Judgment Cut, you can actually confirm off the. Nah. Yeah, you gotta be. Oh, there you go.
There. There. There.
Yeah, light doesn't cut off the ground. They hit you if they're grounded and you hit them on the ground with light doesn't cut. You actually confirm off of a light. Really fast. It's just kind of frame sensitive, but you can do it. Medium. Yeah, medium you can't do it. But in order to but if you want to combo off of it, you do a double trigger or one. Give me one. Let this double trigger run out. And medium. Oh, push fast. That's what I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, I haven't talked about double trigger yet. I feel like that's his own section as far as Vergil, so he tells like kind of a different character. But yeah, if you want to convert off a medium judgment cut, you're gonna need double trigger to do it. It's the same thing, I believe.
Rest in peace.
Beautiful.
Here I am. There.
Cool.
There. I'm motivated.
Maximum.
I think it's just because you need double trigger to combo off of it, so it can't hit. So I don't think I'm lying.
There.
Fast. I'm way too fast. Well, yeah, it's just hard to hit. It's hard to hit confirm off of it. I wouldn't use H judgment cut to hit confirm into a double trigger. I don't think if you had to.
There.
I'm not fast enough, but it can be done. It can be done. I think. There. That's just I'm gonna try it one more time, and then after that, I gotta move on. We got a lot to go through with this thing. H doesn't cut. There you go. That's just like this just proof enough. I'm gonna be lazy with it. It's just proof enough. Yeah. So if you want to, if you see them get hit with an H doesn't cut across the screen, you can use Stinger combo after it. But yeah, you can combo after it. It's just proof of concept. You can combo after you can combo with H doesn't cut into double trigger and do a Stinger if you really want to. Not a good use of resources, but it's there. Also, another thing too is doesn't cut has different properties as well. Because it tends to bounce them up when you hit them. So if you hit them when they're jumping, it's actually a little bit easier to combo. Okay, do it. Yeah, as you can see there. So it's actually gives you more time to follow up. In medium, yeah, medium, you can do it. You can do the same H, stay on top of it. H by itself, you can't do it, but again, double trigger, good follow up to it. I'm not gonna. I think that pretty much covers. And another thing about Judgment Cut too. As some of you may have noticed, Judgment Cut actually can become a mix-up. For example, if you do light Judgment Cut, you know, it's kind of hard to see what attack versus going to do. So here's Judgment Cut and Rapid Slap. So if they're not careful, they actually could end up, you know, guessing wrong. So Judgment Cut's definitely a slower attack. It's not fast Rapid Slash, but the stances are pretty similar in that if they're not careful, they can end up getting mixed up, and then you could, you know, go into a combo. So like that. But yeah. So yeah, that's that was one of the things I was working on with Judgment Cut. Just to kind of prove that Vergil kind of be safe. with all the assists. So yeah, you kind of use it as a mix-up, a 50-50 mix-up between rapid flash and judgment cut, if your opponent's not being too careful. If they are, you know, you're safe. If they're not, then, you know, they're gonna get hit. Alright, next attack. Rising Sun. Rising Sun honestly only has one use, and that's legit just combo fodder. That's it. That's all Rising Sun uses. On whiff, you can cancel into trick down. If you do it properly. Yeah. On whiff, you can actually cancel into down. You're not supposed to. It feels that way because the window for that is really tight. But if you do so, it's actually relatively safe, I think. It's about 3 frames, I think, on if they guard. What's the part slow down? And guard that.
Here I am. Here I am.
Just slow it down. If during the playback, he kind of sees how who recovers first. Definitely Vergil recovers last, but the frames is like very low. But I think that you're susceptible to a guard. So if they match guard, or not guard, throw. It's susceptible to a throw. So if they match throw, you're probably gonna get thrown. So just be careful. Just be aware of that. I think that if you want to use it as an anti-air, we could try it out and see. It's not really a good anti-air though, in my opinion. I mean, the startup frames is like 6 frames. It has no invincibility. But you do get a full combo off of it if they're not careful. But I haven't really tried using it as an anti-air. But you know, maybe it can. Maybe it does have some use as an anti-air. I think maybe so if they're not paying attention. But again, I wouldn't use it as anti-air. You know, maybe a surprise every now and then, but I wouldn't put it as a staple. I wouldn't make it a reliable anti-air. But again, like I said, you get into a full combo. So yeah, summary: Rising Sun, just combo fodder. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Lunar Phase. This move. Yeah, obviously, it's affectionately called the washing machine. Round and round you go. Finishes off with an axe at the bottom. Axe kick does like a heavy down bounce, meaning it does a hard knockdown after the first bounce. So, this move, strictly combo fodder. That's it. I would not use this move for anything else. Besides that, it is not reliable on grounded opponents because it's not reliable to use in like just randomly. So if they're crouching, you're not hitting anybody with it. Like that, as you can see. So yeah, I would not use this for anything else but just combo fodder. Best to use after. You have to use it at first. You definitely use it after crouching H. And I think that pretty much covers it. Not affected by hits on deterioration. It's also integral to this thing, pro loop. Mess that up. But yeah, not affected by hits and deterioration. Pretty integral to your sword loops and your lengthening your combos. What else? I think that's about it. Yeah, you're just specifically using it for combos. So summary: only use it for combos. Kind of use this everywhere else. Do not use this move outside of combos, because if you do, most likely you will get punished for it. Yeah, pretty much that's about it. Moving on. Rapid Flash. Oh, this is the move that everyone loves to hate. Alright, so you can see right there, Vergil does a cross up, special move. It only has one use, well, it has like maybe two use, but its primary use is just to kind of start the combos on a cross up. But the thing about this thing is that you have to use meter in order to confirm off of it. If you don't use meter, cause a soft knockdown, you could probably maybe try to follow up with some type of attack or some type of meaty. But again, Vergil's attacks are really precise and have like little active frames, so yeah, it probably is not a good idea. You gotta really well time it. So, rapid slash, general use. Yeah, just use it to kind of cross up, start cross up. You can actually layer it too, so you could do stuff like show you. And no. Alright, so kind of use it to layer your cross up as well. So you kind of want to throw it, like, you know. You kind of want to use it to, you know, kind of like layer your cross up. Like that. Yeah. That's actually, that's not safe, but my point being, you know, you can use it to layer your cross up, and if their opponent's not careful, they can get hit. So some really big stuff. Right there. They're not careful. That. I think that's about it. But yeah, there's also remember as well. If you do rapid slash, always go and cancel into something, some hyper combo. Whether it be most likely gonna be summon swords or double triggers. Summon swords keep the pressure on, double triggers. Maybe to like either DHC if you want to do that, or if you so you keep double trigger and get the powered up assist, or if you want to so if you want to do it this way. There you go. Go for an extra mixed up. You know, so it does have its use. It just has its uses to kind of start the combos. That's basically it. Can you use it for combos? Yes, but I feel like they're just better. There are better ways to combo. So I wouldn't go for it. I think you could do. This. Yeah. Better ways to combo, but you also have to be aware as well. If you do rapid slash and high hits from the deterioration, the last hit is susceptible to that, so they will fall out. Here, still gonna take a shut off. Big guy downstairs. Yep. I'm not satisfied. Alright, one more time. Should pop out. Yep, right there. So as you can see, high hits and deterioration. Rapid slash is the final hit will cause them to pop out, so do not use that. So yeah, bottom line is rapid slash, use it for your combo starter, use it to layer your mix-up. That's about it. And also, if you use it, make yourself safe. Might also cancel into a hyper combo every single time. But I also think you should be careful too with rapid slash. I think that what else? There's one more thing. If you're not careful with rapid slash and about how you layer your mix-ups, or if your rapid slash is too obvious, I won't be able to do it. I probably won't be. Yeah, it's really. What I'm trying to show here is basically if you're not careful, you can get grabbed. There you go. Wow, second try. If you're not careful with your rapid slash, your opponent can grab you. So yeah, just keep that in mind as well. What else do we have here? Round trip. That's next special attack. Round trip is Vergil's like I guess you want to call his standard projectile. You know, he throws a sword like that, goes round and round, goes to that full screen, comes back after him. Thing about round trip is that it actually comes back to Vergil no matter where he is on the screen. So if you jump, it goes in the jumping arc. If you throw it up here, you know, falls him down. So you kind of use it for tricky mix-ups and stuff like that. The standard used offensively for round trip, you could use to, say if you throw it, you can use it to kind of start combos if the opponent's not being careful. It does scale like shit though, so just be aware of that. Another reason, another thing about round trip is that it's actually pretty integral to your sword loop. And the thing about round trip though, it's not susceptible to hits and deterioration. So that is something that's really good about it. So that's why it works in your high hits and deterioration combos and why it's useful for your sword loop. So in conjunction with your adjustment cuts, your summon sword, round trip is definitely integral. And you need to use it in order to use some of the highest damage combos. It also has another use. To use it to hit high hits and deterioration PATs. So yeah, that's another use for that it has. I think what else? Defensively, does it have any uses defensively? Let's see. I think it does. Let me just remember. Yeah, if they're in guard stun, you could kind of put them in guard stun for a while with the hits and deterioration switch. If they're blocking, but I wouldn't use this move as like a you know, just throw it out there like right there. That's not an actual true guard string. There we go. That's the word, of course. Like 5 minutes ago. It's not a true guard string, so your opponent will be able to super jump out of it, or possibly even punish you. So in order to kind of make this a true guard string, what you gotta do, you wanna make it a true guard string. What you have to do is using conductor with your fist. Or at least make your, usually using conjunction with your assist. If you time it right, it could become a true guard string. That's one way. What else? But yeah, this move is actually really stuff in it. It's pretty important to Vergil, and it's also about knowing when to use it. And another use it has as well is if you snap them out incoming, guards they have to respect it automatically. If they do not respect it, they will get hit with it and they will get combos. But it's also about all about being well timed. And since Vergil, I don't see. Yeah, Vergil. Actually, is that? A little bit faster, probably. Oh, it's about the same. But yeah, so on incoming, if you throw out round trip, they have to respect it, no matter what. So it basically becomes like, okay, which way are you gonna come in? Are you gonna teleport behind me? Are you gonna teleport in front of me? Are you gonna rapid slash? That kind of thing. So yeah, that's one of the main uses for rapid slash for starting, for starting to incoming mix-up. It's like one of Vergil's the go-tos for incoming. Especially for characters like an air dash. For characters that don't, you could just like kind of dash under them, do the other stuff, or dash under them and do the standing H, standing S, that kind of thing. But for characters with air dashes, you definitely want to, it's definitely worth it to throw round trip out. Because a well-timed round trip to force them to block stun, and then they have to play your game. What else is there for round trip? Oh, also the round trip. It's the last thing. So basically, if you let go round trip during the hit stun of the attack, or the guard stun of the attack, and then press it again, you can actually keep the charge. Can be good with chipping people out. But yeah, that's another use for round trip as well. Oh, and you can actually switch round trip between your buttons. So, for example, if I'm holding it with L right now, you can hold medium and you can switch it like that. And alright, I think that's pretty much covered it. The bottom line, round trip, good for combos. It's really good for your. It's really necessary and good for your combos. Good for incoming mix-up. Round trip glitch, which has a little bit of a niche use, but you know you can use it to chip your opponent out, stuff like that. Good for putting people in blocks there. Oh, wait, hold on. There's one more thing I forgot to mention about round trip. If they make you guard during round trip, if they hit you or make you guard during round trip, the round trip actually loses hitbox. Despite the fact that it's actually on the screen. So yeah, that's something else you have to be careful of. See, right there. So yeah, if you get hit or guard or forced to guard during rounds while round trip is out, round trip won't hit. Oh, and another very important thing with round trip. If round trip is out, you cannot use Helmbreaker and you cannot use Stinger. I already tried to use it. But yeah, so any attack that uses this force edge, you can't actually use it when once round trip is out. Yeah, I guess they want to make it fair. But yeah, that's another thing you have to be aware of. So yeah, round trip really integral for his spiral for combo loop. Really good for incoming mix-up. Round trip glitch. If you use it for, can't use force. You can't use Helmbreaker or Stinger while round trip is out. And also, if you get hit or guard while round trip is out, the round trip will lose its hitbox. Oh, and another thing too, it actually has very low projectile durability. So, for example,
Flames of the fall team. Flames of the fall team.
Yeah. Just to be aware, Doctor Strange Flames of the Fall Team, it's the initial one without any power up is too weak. Probably better. Oh wow. Learn something new. I guess it makes sense. The snapback actually has projectile, has to nullify projectiles as well. Yeah, those are considered pretty weak projectiles. So, yes. And people are saying stuff on the chat. Gotta get oh, gotta look at what they're saying and doing. What's up, Zilla? What else? I think that pretty much covers it for round trip. All right, now moving on to his tricks. Oh, I gotta show you something that I kind of been holding on for years. I don't think people know about it. Here's what.
Normal. Welcome to the world of Marvel
OG team, you know what I mean? It's an over. You know, maybe it's all kind of like noise.
Training room.
Let your fist do the talking. No one will stand in my way.
Alright. So alright, so Vergil, tricks. Let's get it. So this is another movement option I had for Vergil. I was explaining in the beginning. He has medium low trick, which teleports you right in front of him. Medium, which is always right behind him. And high, which is like right above them. Actually, is it like directly above them? Oh yeah, it's directly above them. Oh, it's always like in front of them but above them. So it teleports you directly above them. see. So for low trick actually has the special property where you could. It actually has a lot of invincibility frames, and it's on frame 14. But when you're invincible, like it's invincible to the point where you're actually, I guess I would call it transparent. So if you do something like, I'll mess it up. If you do something like, okay, almost did it. Oh, almost did it. Right there. So basically, with low trick, you actually become invisible or tangible. So it actually has the longest invincibility frames of all the tricks. Obviously, being like the one that's like the least not least safe, or like because you're teleporting right in front of their face. But it also has the fastest recovery as well, so it's really good for covering distance. If you can like make them guard, really good for covering distance, and then you can just pop up right in front of their face. You can use it in combos as well. It's kind of good for. Let me see. Generally speaking, you won't really use it in combos, but. It's good for if you wall bounce and you want to stay in front, you want to like keep them in the wall against the wall. But besides that though, low trick, you're only really using it if you want to like kind of trick your opponent to see where you're moving. You kind of would be oscillating between these two more or less. So speaking of which, medium trick. Medium trick goes right behind them. Always goes behind them no matter what. The special thing about medium trick is that medium trick in the corner. You actually always teleport behind them. I believe some people with teleports can't do that. I think Strange and Phoenix are one of them, so that makes it special. The downside with that is that Vergil's medium trick has the least amount of invincibility frames compared to his other teleport. Actually, no, high trick actually has the least amount of invincibility frames. But yeah, you're basically using this as a mix-up tool, and this is basically around. This actually is really integral to Vergil's like neutral game. Because if you're throwing out projectiles, you can teleport behind them. Vergil's mix-ups like are more so left and right rather than like high and low. So combined with a good projectile assist, Vergil could teleport behind you, in front of you, and it's really important to mix it up with these two. High trick, you don't really use this as often, honestly. It's good for just teleporting if like, someone throws a projectile. So, I mean, like the thing about it is like when you're really winning, you're really winning. Yeah, I guess in that sense it's really good for doing it. But besides that, high trick is kind of you won't really be using it. You kind of use it every now and then if you want to throw stuff out. But besides that, it's I don't know. You just don't end up using it. But if you kind of condition your opponent to going left and right, surprising them with a high trick, it could throw them off guard. Besides that, I don't think it has many more uses. Probably has. Yeah, I don't think it can do it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it for high trick. But besides that, high trick useful with assist. You could kind of depending on the assist, you could kind of like use it as another mix-up tool. That's about it though. And besides that, besides that, you're not really using it for much. So just summarize the tricks: low trick, teleport in front of them; medium trick, teleport behind them; high trick, teleport above. Using it in conjunction with your assist to kind of mix up to keep either one, keep you safe; two, to keep them with guard stuns to kind of mix up your approach. And yeah, that's about it for tricks. I'm not forgetting anything. I guess you can mention Trick Down. Trick Down, basically, it only has 2 uses. Rising Sun, if you want to like teleport yourself to the ground faster. Actually, do you have to Trick Down for that? No, okay. Yeah, you just do that by pressing H. But it's really hard to do on Whip, so, you know, keep that in mind. Also, you can use it for your high time if you want to teleport yourself down to the ground faster. But besides that, Trick Down has no uses. Oh, another thing too with Trick. Trick Light and Trick Medium had different flashes. Trick Light has different flashes from Trick Medium and Trick Heavy. So as you can see, Trick Medium has like more of like a horizontal, or Trick Light has a more of a horizontal flash. Trick Medium has more of like a vertical flash. Same thing with Trick H. So that's the way they can kind of tell where you're going to teleport from visual cues. So keep that in mind as well. Yeah, I think that is about it for that. Next, assist for Vergil. For assist, Vergil has 3. We'll start with Rapid Splash, because that's most likely the one you're going to be using. So Rapid Slash is good for 2 things. One, for like adding extra projectile, you know, presence on the screen. But to be careful with that, because Vergil is pretty vulnerable all the whole time he's rushing towards you. Nova do rap. So yeah, that's it. So Vergil's pretty vulnerable during Rapid Slash this. Like that. So as you can see right there, he's pretty vulnerable while he's doing Rapid Slash in the front. So mostly if you are trying to use Rapid Slash in neutral, you wanna use it. You wanna use layer with a stick, some type of projectile stick, to kind of make it safer and kind of give it more to make Vergil safe. Because honestly, if you know in this game, if you get hit with assist, if your assist gets hit, they take some damage if you don't make them safe. What else? Oh, I think that's important. Alright, let's see here. What? Change. What else is there? Oh, for I guess you can't see what it is. Okay, moving on. So for Rapid Slash, it also has another this also has another thing you can do with it. Crossover assist. So the thing about the crossover assist, which makes it really special, is that it actually holds the it actually carries over the properties from the assist. So you can actually combo after it, which is normally not possible. The only downside to that is that the assist itself is pretty slow, so you generally probably will not want to use it because of how slow the startup is for it. But if your opponent's not careful, for example, maybe... Nah, that's not even worth it at that point. Yeah. So generally speaking, you don't want to use it. You can if you want to surprise people maybe, but probably not the safest option. Next assist is Judgment Cut. Oh, what am I doing? Where am I? Second one. Okay. Oh, did we get it? No, we did not. Oh, that's dummy. It's 2. Alright, let's see Alpha. Alpha is, I believe, Judgment Cut? Yeah. So, this, I don't think it has much use. This is probably the assistant you won't use the moat at all. It does have a lot of frame advantage, just like the regular Judgment Cut, but it also pops them up higher too. So you know, you might get some combo use out of it as a crossover assist though. Let's see if we can get them to that. No way. Yeah, it's the medium Judgment Cut, so most likely not going to use it as a crossover at all. Don't even bother with it. Yeah, I honestly think it's just worth the risk. Now for the his last assist, which is his beta assist, Rising Sun. Rising Sun, basically the same. It's more or less the same thing as the original, but except it's GIMP. As you can see, the hitbox is not as good at all. As you can see right there, it's actually pretty small compared. A little bit smaller. What uses does it have? You can use it for combos, I guess. Magneto probably a better. Magneto probably a better use. Yeah, let's switch. I only want to use Storm to show you that trick stuff, but yeah, Magneto or Sentinel will probably get better mileage out of it. Let's see. Where? Oh man. Yeah, I'll keep about that.
Training room. Fight it out.
No one will
Go for broke.
Alright.
Fight.
Settings. Beta.
Maximum.
So yeah, you can see here Magneto could probably get a little more use out of it. Something like that. I'm not. Oh. There we go. So yeah. So you could probably get a little bit of use out of it. So yeah, it could be good for. Yeah, he could probably like super jump confirm off of all the different heights. Or you could probably confirm off a super jump height with it. Magneto could probably do to probably confirm off of it. I'm not the best Magneto, but like I would think that someone like Sentinel should be able to use it. As a crossover assist, however, this is where this assist actually shines. Where is it? Get a full combo. So that's probably where this is definitely the best one of the best crossover assists in the game. I think so. Yeah. So basically, I've been trying to figure out how to use Rising Sun more effectively because I feel like that is probably gonna help. Because it's pretty fast. It's pretty decent startup. Yeah, but besides that, if you don't have a character with that can confirm off a super jump pipe, wouldn't bother using it. The most likely the go-to assist you're going to be using is Rapid Flash. It's just like it helps in combos. If I could actually do this properly. Like that. The Rapid Slash is probably your best go-to assist. Honestly, helps in combos, helps in neutral. You know, doesn't cut. Don't bother even using it. It's not worth it at all. And then Rising Sun to be determined. Really good crossover assist. Can use it to confirm off of super jump height. Yes, absolutely. But it's not it doesn't have any invincibility as an assist, or in the regular version. So keep that in mind. But maybe there's some use for it down the road. I think there's something. I feel like there's some hidden stuff there. We just gotta figure it out and see. Practice it more. I most likely will, but when I start playing this game more often. All right. Now we're gonna go to throw with Vergil. I don't know why I can't see anybody. Actually, let me see something. And setting few comments. Oh, it just said. Oh, I don't know why it said that 4 times. Anyway, it's not important. All right. So moving back onto the guy. Vergil's throws. Front throw, back throw, pretty much the same thing. Causes a hard knockdown. So when Vergil throws, you can only confirm off of high time. That's the only thing you can do. Nah, too far. Okay. Yeah. You can only confirm off a high time, I believe. Yeah. Let me see something with it. In the corner, you could probably use it with TT assist. That's another Nah, it's too slow. Okay. Yeah, so you're going to convert off a high time. And then generally speaking, you're going to be doing X Factor. Or you're going to be doing high time into the second spot. That's basically it. His back throw, pretty much the same thing. You're just converting into high time into whatever you decide to do, whether it be X Factor or connection spot. Let's see. Alright, now we get into his jump throw. His jump throws are pretty good. You can actually convert all of these by dashing up to a spin and light. You could do it on both sides, on both occasions. So yeah, if you get someone at jump height with a throw, you could get a pretty decent combo off of it. Obviously scaled to hell, but if you have the right tools, it won't really matter. Yeah, as long as if you have meter, like you can kill it. Alright, so yeah, super jump height though. This is where things get a little tricky. Going can't do. If I believe you can only really combo it off of boss finger. I think it calls for hard knockdown now. Yeah. Okay. So that's 2 options. You have one, if you don't feel like using your resource, if you don't feel like using X Factor, you can combo off with Stinger. I think the back throw is only Stinger. Yeah, it might only be back throw. Huh. No, what's there? Okay. So yeah, you can use Stinger off with super jump height to confirm a combo. Let me see. Okay, standing heavy. Alright, cool. So standing heavy you can actually combo off, full combo off with super jump height. Back throw. You probably gotta dash up and do it. Yeah, probably that type of thing. But this is a guy. So yeah, it's pretty strict as far as timing goes, but it is possible. Yeah, front throw, super jump height throw, definitely standing 8. Yeah, back probably only Stinger.
Here I am.
Yeah, probably won't stand, but you probably could dash up and then do standing 8. Nah, I guess too slow. Okay. I think I'll play it up. Maybe. Either way, he has conversion options off of, okay. In the corner, you could do stand light. But either way, full screen or mid screen probably how to do Stinger. But yeah, he has conversion options off of his throws. On all of his throws, it just depends on what resources you want to use. Jump, regular jump throw. You know, you don't need any. You can get pretty much decent combos off of it. Super jump height, you wanna, you know, kind of play with it a little bit, but definitely back throw into stand H. Or back throw into Stinger. Front throw into stand H or Stinger if you want to. It's also corner dependent as well. So yeah, just keep that in mind. All of them cause a hard knockdown. So if you don't even want to deal with the whole timing issue with the super jump height, or even the jump height or the jump throws, you can just do high time into Dimension Slash or high time into X Factor. Alright, now we're getting into the hyper combos. Hyper combos, hyper combo wise, the one that's probably gonna be your basic finisher for most part is Dimension Slash. Dimension Slash is you're basically gonna be doing Dimension Slash. Like most likely you're gonna be doing Dimension Slash from high time. That's basically your ender. So on some occasions you could actually get another high time off of Dimension Slash. I think it's mid screen. But in some cases you can. But yeah, it's mostly Dimension Slash. You're mostly going to be using it as a finisher from high time. If you mess the combo up and they end up guarding, you're basically standing still. You know, you're standing still for about 1 second. So if in that case you will have to use X Factor or DHC, or make sure you have a DHC ready in order to make it safe. And that's pretty much it. You know, it's not really the best hyper. Just know that it's just good for finishing off. For being a finisher off of your high time, and that is about it. Now, when we get to his other ones, we start getting to his really good hyper combos. So, Summon Swords. Summon Swords is pretty integral to Vergil's game. Basically, when you have Summon Swords up, it's your turn to play. And this probably is what makes Vergil really strong. Because your opponent basically has to run away by either, he has to basically run away by trying to go full screen. But if you go full screen or teleport behind them, they could hit you out of it if you're not careful. But with these up, you effectively make your teleport safe. Like a super jump, which is usually probably the best option. Oh. Feature. Yeah, if you hit him a super jump, you don't really have an option to hit him down as far as I know. Maybe there is. Maybe it's changed in a couple years, but yeah, super jump height is probably the best way to get away from you. I feel like there was a way to combo off. I feel like there was. I think it's like, nah, that won't even work. Yeah, it's really tricky to combo off super jump height. But most likely they're going to super jump height and guard, and once they do that, you know, Summon Swords is pretty, ineffective. Characters with air dashes could definitely get away from you all day, or even like 8-way air dashes more specifically. So that is something to be mindful of. What else do we have here with Summon Swords? Again, very integral to Vergil's game, because this is basically where all your damage is coming from. I messed that combo up and I still hit it. Because it's so cheap. But yeah, it's integral to his damage game. It's integral to his combos. If you just activate it, it basically is your turn. They can't do anything about it except for run. The damage itself on it alone is not that good. No, that's pretty low, all things considering. What else is there? Oh, another thing too about it. Well, has really good projectile durability. It actually is some of the best projectile durability in the game. Yeah. That's actually pretty good. Why what I mean by this? Like that, basically like that. Any projectiles that are not hyper combos are going to be nullified on the screen automatically. But you also have to be careful and aware too, because you can actually get hit on the bottom, and people could actually grab you. They probably won't be able to showcase it, but they can grab you. If you're not careful, they can grab you. Also,
You're going down. Maximum. You're going.
Another thing you gotta be careful with Summon Sword as well. If you get hit while it's out, oh, thanks, Nom. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you get hit with Summon Swords while it's out, you also lose your Summon Swords. So, you actually really gonna get it. So, if you get hit while your Summon Sword's out, they disappear. So, you know, you're not like super invincible, you're not like God mode or anything like that, but you know, you could definitely do some damage. It definitely makes Vergil one of the most feared characters in the game, and it's very integral to his gameplay. Yeah. So I guess another was outside of combos and outside of activating full screen. If you want to activate it defensively to just, you know, keep pressure on your opponent, it's also a really good use of it as well. Just jump there. So.
You're going down. Here I am. Maximum hard.
Yeah, you want to keep pressure on your opponent.
You're going down.
Doesn't do as much chip as you might want to think, but in conjunction with everything else, you know, hey, that's the decent chip. So yeah, the bottom line, Summon Sword, one of the best hypers in the game. Basically makes it your turn, quote unquote. As long as you play like pretty safely or pretty carefully. Good for keeping pressure on guarded opponents. Really good for dishing out damage, for continuing damaging your sword loop combos. And then with that being said, I think I covered everything on that. Oh wait, hold on. I probably should have. Yeah. Another thing as well. Some really dirty stuff to try to counter the people who might.
Normal. Welcome to the world of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where the finest heroes assemble. Get ready for the fight of your life.
Yeah, I think.
Get ready to fight. Training room.
Ah, wait, yeah, no, that's.
The fight is on. Ready? Fight! Maximum!
You're going down.
First attack. Cool. Great. Crossover attack.
Let's see.
Cool.
Oh, no. I'm getting all guard. Oh, cover.
Maximum.
You're going down.
I messed it up. Let's see, I'm trying to see. There's actually, if you're not careful with Summon Swords as well in activation, there's actually an initial startup frames that you could get knocked out of. Another thing about it too, which I'm trying to show you. if you're not careful, between the frames that actually get hit, I messed it up. You can actually I just blocked that. That's probably right. That's why. Like that. Grab him out of it. So yeah, you're not careful with it, you know, you can get grabbed. I mean, that's a one frame command grab, so obviously there's that. But if you're like, if they're like an utter invincible attack, and you're not careful, you know, they can obviously counter the whack with that. But if you're swinging, and that's going crazy. So you know, obviously it's matchup specific. Just be mindful of like who you're facing, what they're doing, etc., etc. Oh, another good counter to that is also, for characters who don't have command grabs, and they just want to, you know, they feel like if your opponent feels like using resources, they can just do. You know, if you're not careful, I mean that's 2 frames, so I don't think it's. I actually think that's not quick enough. But I think if they... Yeah, it's not quick enough. Okay, alright. Never mind, just 1 frame attacks. And if you're swinging while it's summon sword, here's like an X Factor and just bust your shit open. Just saying. If you have summon swords up, you know, you go into 2 frames, or grab a few attacks. Glistening swords, which form 6 swords around Vergil. These are like the highest projectile durable attacks in the game. You. Messed it up. Just to put in perspective. Goes right through. It costs an extra bar to use to effectively make it this a level 2. And they have different commands, shoot them in different ways. For example, if you shoot, to shoot them, you press attack plus S, and they fire off in different ways. So light fire straight ahead, light medium S fire straight up, or diagonal up, and then H plus S fires it down. So you can actually use in conjunction with your attack, and these are really good because they have like little to no startup, so they effectively make everything you do safe. Basically, they make all your attacks relatively safe. I feel like you don't really use this as often because having 2 summon swords is 2 opportunities for you to catch your opponent and get them into a combo. But, you know, it's always an option that's there. Again, using in combos does pretty decent damage. I think each sword does like 80,000. So it's pretty good in that regard. What else is there with this? Oh, also too, it's forgot to mention, if you don't fire anything, after like 3 seconds they start firing by themselves. Which can be useful for combos, or useful for defense. So, to give you an example, so, if you get hit, they stay up. But they also, right there, as you can see, if your opponent's not careful, they can cut their whole combo automatically. So it kind of gives you that, okay, it's my turn, kind of thing. In order to get rid of them, they have to snap out. So they snap out, swords disappear, and then now you're kind of like, okay, you can't. Now you just use 2 bars. I mean, they use 1 bar, but you know. You use 2 bars for nothing. So, you know, just be aware of that. But besides that, you know, oh, another thing that's trick about it too, with to do overhead. Basically what you're doing, you're plinking your starfall into an attack. And as I said before, starfall you can actually special cancel in the air. So these are basically like special, like they're treated like special attacks. And you guys trying to do some crazy stuff like that too. So yeah, you treat your summon swords like not like a hyper combo, but more so as a special attack once they're out. What else? Seduction. Yeah, using in combos any way you please to do. My favorite way to do it is my personal favorite combo that I can call. Oh. I'll try it now. If I don't do it, that's what it is.
You're going down. You're mine. Take this. You're mine.
There you go.
Take this. Here I am.
So yeah, you can use it in combos. You can use it as a projectile to make yourself safe. You could basically make your teleport safe, so you can just teleport across the screen safely. You know, it's really good. It's a really good move. It's unfortunate it costs 2 bars to use, but hey, it's just the price you gotta pay to play the game. So bottom line, summon swords, glistening swords, you want to call them, whatever. Use them for as a projectile specials. Use them to cover your teleports. Basically, use them as a self-cut. Use them for combos. Use them primarily speaking though. The best use of this is the overhead. I don't. Okay. Yeah, primarily speaking, it's really good on activation when you want to use it for overhead. You can use it in combos, make it come off fancy, but most of the time though, you're not gonna be using this unless you just really want to be fancy or you're trying something a little risky. But the fact that you use it 2 bars, you know, it's 2 summon swords is better than that attack. That's just my opinion. The next formation he has, is what's it called? Source Storm? Yeah, Source Storm. So basically, Source Storm is that you put a crown above your opponent, and it follows them no matter where they go. As you can see here, so they kind of like it's on a timer, and after like about maybe 3 seconds, they come raining down, and they kind of have to guard with it. This move is good because well, it's not. I won't say good. It has its uses. It kind of locks your opponent down and it forces them to say like, okay, yeah, you have to go. Eventually, you have to guard. So, or rather, eventually you have to go either guard or get hit. So there's that. So if you do, I guess you do. Like, you use it for combos. It also goes to use like do combo rate. The OTG. So that's one way you can use it. But like I said, basically more or less this is kind of just forcing your opponent in a situation where it's like, okay, you have to guard. So what are you gonna do? The downside to this move is that it has 2 weaknesses. One, set up. It has two weaknesses though.
You're going down.
If you get rid of Vergil, it's out. And another thing is too, if
You're going down.
you tag out, they go away as well. So these are definitely really risky compared to the other formations, summon swords. So yeah, just keep that in mind when using it. But generally speaking, the sword formations you're not gonna really use them unless you want to be fancy or if you're just trying to do something different. Because this is way better in my opinion. Because this really just makes it good burn. The other one kind of like okay, yeah, you're giving them a little bit more freedom. Okay. Moving on to what is next here. X Factor. So X Factor with Vergil is and his base form is a little cracked. He gets a 25% damage boost and a 10% and a 15% speed boost. By itself, honestly, Vergil can kill most of the tasks off of a clean hit with just meter using X Factor. You really don't. I don't know. If you, I don't know, because like on point Vergil, I feel like. Let's see here. Oh, I messed it up. X Factor level 1 on a point Vergil, I think is a good. It could be a good option for killing most majority of the cast. I mean, Wesker's beefy as hell. So, Wesker's beefy as hell, but for majority of the cast though, Vergil kill them without using meter. Oh wow, terrible. Yeah, majority of the cast, Vergil kill. I should say majority of the cast. The majority of point characters, he can kill them without using meter if you get a clean hit. But yeah, you keep. I'm gonna try to. One more time. But yeah, considerable 25% damage boost, 15% speed boost. It's basically getting another double trigger. Alright, I'm just gonna fail it right now. So yeah, bottom line is that Vergil will kill off most point characters for the X Factor. But yeah, with meter though, he's kill off the whole cast. Yeah, easy kill for most of the cast easy kill with meter. He kills off most of the cast without meter. He kills off. He kills off most point characters depending on which combo is. That's the thing again. So yeah, X Factor level 2, basically more of the same thing, but with X Factor level 2 though, Vergil can kill off any character. He does like. I want to say that damn it, really. Without a meter. What? Here, 2, 1, 2. Restart that, please. Bring that back. Depending on your system. Yeah. Depending on your stick though, he can kill off. Like, if you have an OTG stick, you can definitely kill off like any character in level 2. Yeah, I don't know if you do this, but I don't think he has that. Probably not. So the thing about it is with the X factors as well, you can also combine them with double trigger to make them that much more scary. So yeah, like that. You can combo out there with double trigger, the X factor 2, start comboing. And start doing absurd damage because for some reason Capcom decided that Double Trigger and X Factor can combine damage modifiers. So yeah, Vergil ends up doing an extra 25% damage, which is actually ridiculous. Combo. And bottom line is, yeah, the damage is absurd. Killing off like majority of the cast in Double Trigger and X Factor. X Factor level 3, you get X Factor level 3, you definitely get Dark Vergil, as we affectionately call. Where is that? I mean, X Factor 2 normally is enough. X Factor level 3 just pushes them over the edge. So. A little bit, timing is not that bad, so. $1 million damage, free, just like that. And if that doesn't kill him, the next mix will most likely. It's absurdly fast. Yeah, absurdly fast. I think he has combo. Okay. So yeah, basically X Factor level 3. X Factor level 3 becomes a god, essentially, with Double Trigger. Becomes one of like the strongest characters in the game. Like he could literally just take out a whole cast, a whole cast if he feels like it. So yeah, that's why he's so strong. And speaking of which, we are now going to get into Double Trigger. I haven't really talked about it too much, but Double Trigger is his third hyper combo, which that gives him access to his fourth. I guess technically it would be his fifth. Yeah, technically it would be his fifth. So Double Trigger basically only lasts about 10 seconds. I feel like it turns Vergil into a completely different character. Comes really fast. He could and then before when I told you with cancels attack, you could do in Double Trigger. No, really good stuff there. Zoning becomes ridiculous now because like everything becomes better. So judgment cuts get bigger, Rise of the Sun gets bigger, Rapid Shots gets bigger and faster. Lunar Phase gets bigger as well. What are attacks? Oh, here I am. How can I forget? Gotcha gets bigger. So all of his specials basically get bigger hitboxes on top of the damage modifiers. Command normal is basically more or less the same. But yeah, so get him up. Ooh. So yeah, bottom line is gets mobility buff, walk comes faster, so it makes your kick throws a little bit better. Everything becomes faster, dashes become faster, gets an air dash, which can be really low to the ground, and also gets a double jump. So if he's dunking with his there you go. In conjunction with his wall jump, he gets 3 quote unquote jumps. So yeah. What else is here about Double Trigger? Also another thing about Double Trigger is Double Trigger allows you to keep you safe. And another trick about it that I showed many moons ago is if you use double trigger at the right moment, you can actually stay in their face when they're push blocked on activation. It activates same thing to the summon sword. So there's another way to kind of stay in their face, keep pressure on. What? Another thing that's really good, but I like using double trigger to Vergil on point, is gives you kind of a clean DHC into whatever. So if your opponent's not careful, if they're doing something or swinging, and then I activate double trigger, you could actually punish them for an attack depending on who your secondary partner is, or whoever's playing next. But generally speaking, double trigger, the general use of double trigger in this game has been just combine it with the X Factor. The downside to double trigger is that, I should have just took out another positive. Let's see. Another positive about double trigger, you know, it's kind of an overlooked, double trigger actually recovers a little bit of health. I want to say what I'm going to give you, like about 10%? Yeah, uninterrupted double trigger gives you like a little bit like, yeah, it gives you a good chunk actually. Maybe like 15%, like 10-15%. The downside to double trigger though is that while double trigger is active, you can't, you don't gain any hyper combos or hyper meter. So if you do get hit while in double trigger, they basically get a free combo off of you, and they gain all the meter while you gain nothing. So that's something you have to be careful with when you're using double trigger. What else is there besides double trigger? Or besides the weak shit. Doesn't build a meter. Good for getting out there. Okay, so bottom line is double trigger. You get a damage multiplier, speed buff. You get an air dash, pretty low to the ground. You get a double jump. Oh, I forgot another thing too. Another thing too about double trigger is a plus is which you won't really use as much. Is you get light and medium, you know, become jump cancelable. So obviously with the double jump in the air. Besides that, so you get damage modifier, speed modifier, damage modifier, speed modifier. Special attacks become bigger. Mobility buff, there's double jumps and the air dash, and I think that is about it. I guess the downside is that too, another one, that you take damage. If you take damage, you get no health, your hyper combo doesn't, obviously regenerate, but your health does regenerate while you're not getting hit or while you're comboing. But another downside to double trigger too, which is kind of like a plus or minus, that when you're performing your combos, you have to alter them. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. So the standard sword loop is like this. So that's your standard sword loop. When Vergil's in double trigger, the judgments have to end up popping them up higher. Sometimes they end up falling out. But you have to, you might have to alter your combos a little bit because of how big the judgments have to get, because of how high they pop them out. And you know, judgment cuts are really, they don't really have quote unquote hits in the first 4 hits of it don't have hits in deterioration. The last hit does. So if it pops them up too high, they actually end up falling out. Look at this. Oh. Yeah, like that right there is another issue you have. Kind of have to be careful and be aware. You gotta be a little more aware of combos with Vergil and like Dante doesn't have to worry about those issues because he's not getting the speed bonus. But this Vergil is, you gotta be aware of it. But yeah, so yeah, your combos get altered a little bit in Double Trigger, so that's something to also keep in mind. We went over his movement, went over his normals. Not really. So for his normals, they don't really change too much. Like his standing light just becomes more or less the same. The only difference is that he recovers a little bit quicker on most of them. And then I guess when you get to his heavies, they are left there about 1 frame. Yeah, about like 1 frame faster, stuff like that. The active frames still remain the same for the most part. But the bottom line is in Double Trigger, attacks become safer because you can actually cancel into different things. You can cancel them into specials on whip. So yeah, it becomes a little bit more trickier on Vergil than Double Trigger. So that's something to be aware of. On whiff, attacks become a little bit faster. Blocks, they become a little bit less negative. Not necessarily completely safe, but less negative in most cases. Let's see. But however, in Double Trigger, Stinger becomes really good though, because you can just like throw it out there now, and just then cover your ass. You can really just throw it out there now. So once was like once you had to kind of use it like in a neutral, you had to use it a little bit safely. Now you can just yeah. It doesn't hit, just cut. It does, doing something else. Upper slash, high time. Yeah. Alright, so we get into the specials. So it's very easy to combo off a low judgment cut. Yeah, it's very easy to combo off a low judgment cut in Double Trigger. Thinner light will do it. Very easy. Basically, and I think it actually becomes a little bit less safe, if I remember correctly. Let's see, because it's plus 12 on block in Double Trigger. In your regular form, your base form, it is. Yeah, no, that's a minus 11. That's right. Sorry. Oh, no, this is safer. Yeah, you recover a lot faster. So, yeah. On block, becomes a lot better. No guard, auto guard, yeah. Oh, crap. So you can actually, like, this comes, I think this comes, I don't think it's 2 guards, right? Let me do something. Sir, what? Oh. I was wondering, like, oh, what the hell is he doing? That's Archangel. Okay, yeah, it's not a true guard friend. Yeah, but it still makes it that much harder than time. So someone with a, yeah, that won't hit. But like, you know, if you're close, that could potentially be damaging if you're not careful. But the light judgment cut, you basically get combos if it hits. See if the difference. I don't think it does. But I don't think it. If it hits, you can hit. Yeah. So yeah, if you hit them on light judgment cut while they're on the ground, they're gonna get hit. If they're jumping in the air, they get hit with it. I mean, it goes to say you get. So it's still free combo, especially if they're like popped up. Yeah, you can still combo. I feel it. Yeah, it becomes easier to combo. So Judgment Cut becomes a lot easier to combo in double trigger from the light one. Medium, if I remember correctly, that should be. Yeah. The medium off the ground. If they hit, you can go into an ace into a full combo. I don't think Stinger will work. Nah, Stinger doesn't work. Yeah. There you go. So, medium hit, you can actually get a full combo off a double trigger, off a medium judgment cut on double trigger. And if they're jumping, let's see. Obviously, it becomes that much easier to hit. So, you know, again, opponents have to be wary and be careful. His judgment cuts become really strong in this mode. Now, for heavy judgment cut, I think I want to say, nah, not that. Yeah, heavy judgment cut hits you. If heavy judgment cut hits you can't do anything off the ground. But if they're jumping, you should be able to get a stinger. Yeah. I think you might be able to get stinger. Yeah, not fast enough for that. Yeah, stinger is probably the only way to combo off the heavy judgment cut. So that hits. 3 versus 2. Nah, yeah. So it has its limits too. So if it's close on the closer end, if they're like on the yeah, if they're on like the closer half of the judgment cut, you could probably hit them. But if they're further away, yeah, you're probably not gonna get the combo. I believe that's what I have notes here. And if anyone wants these notes that I had, I'd be more than happy to share them. Let me know. Okay, lunar phase. Ah, Rising Sun. Rising Sun, the hitbox of this becomes ridiculous. As you can see here. Does it become a better anti-air though? Let's see. It behaves like it normally would. Versus weapon form, however, the double trigger, the hitbox is only increased in the side. The hitbox and damage are increased. And it's surprising how far it's attacked. Oh, okay. So it should be like half speed, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So it gives you like stuff like a little bit around half speed. Yeah, and this is a hit. Besides that, height is good. It could almost hit a super jump height. You cancel the trick down, obviously. Also benefits benefits the speed boost. This is about an 8-frame startup, so again, by no means is it a good anti-air, but it is fast. That is pretty fast. For 8 frames, that's pretty fast. Yeah, I think that's about it regarding that. So, and again, you want to use it anywhere outside combo fodder, maybe probably a surprise anti-air, but besides that, you're not really using it too much. The double trigger lunar phase. Watching teams configure can hit standing opponents very easily. I think they hit crouching very easily as well. Yeah, not all the hits, but it can hit. Basically same thing. Just to use in your combos for your sword loop. The only difference is that like it is huge. Ooh, yeah, where's my Wesker? Nice. Combo, the rocket with it. Sure. Yeah, it's just bigger hitbox with the let me try to show you how big it is. It's not that. It's a little bit bigger, but it's not like, again, it's not like, oh my god, this move's broken. It's just a little bit of a bigger hitbox. It makes it more consistent. So like basically all the hits would probably hit if they're airborne, no matter where they are. Well, the last hit has a tendency to miss sometimes, depending on their location. But again, combo fodder just to use for your summon sword loot. Or your spiral sword loot rather. Rapid slash. You just get a speed boost, becomes faster, very hard to guard against now. The last hitbox is actually pretty big now, because if you hit jump height, yeah, it hits pretty easy to jump height. Yeah. Okay. They can still jump over. It's not like perfect, but it's still pretty big. But yeah, again, just increased speed. That's about the base, and the hitbox is a little bit bigger, so you know it benefits from double trigger in that regard. Round trip is huge, very big, very big. Sorry, let's just talk about that. He falls faster too. That's something I already asked him about. But yeah, round trip becomes very big. Throws it out a lot faster as well. I think it's like 30 frames initially, now it's 27. The one thing about it again is that you gotta kind of be aware in combos. I'm gonna do. It's probably a terrible example, but more or less, round trip is virtually the same. It just becomes bigger. It goes out faster, returns to those vertical faster. So, just be more aware of that. It probably works better as a, I think it's a little bit better of a guard string. Not a true guard string, but it's not a true guard string, but it actually it just makes it that much tougher to guard against. Especially with the round trip work. So, yeah. Alright, let's see. Tricks. L trick, behaves the same as it normally would in regular form. Gives a slight speed increase. Instead of being 14 frames, it's like 13 frames. The trick M being 16, I think it's 15 now. So it gets like a frame faster all around. Nothing really changes about them though. Trick down, obviously nothing changes about that as well. So the funny thing about Vergil is, I'd never heard Vergil fall Sentinel in my life. That's funny. The fun thing about this is, if Vergil's in Devil Trigger, he actually keeps it when you tag him out. And he actually keeps a lot of the properties as well. So you get the damage boost, and the hitbox boost, and the speed boost as well. With Rapid Slash, it becomes a little bit better of a neutral attack, and also becomes a little bit better of a neutral attack. Get out of here, sir. Wow. Okay. Alright, Get out of here, sir. It's 9 o'clock already. I'm about to throw myself some dominance. I'm sorry, bro. Alright. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. And I did all that just for... I did all that just to this. That's funny. Can't even do it. Can't even do it. That is so tragic. You know what? I'm just going. Oh wait. Like, you know, everything basically stays the same with it. It's nothing really too special about it. Just know that the hitbox is bigger. The hitbox is bigger, speed is greater, damage is better, and the speed of assists are a lot faster normally than your normal attack. So yeah, so it's actually yeah, big buff in that regard. It comes that much stronger. Crossover assist. Oh wow. I didn't notice that sound effect. That's weird. I never noticed that sound effect. I mean, crossover assists in this game are so trash. This is a sidebar. Crossover assists are so trash in this game. I wish they froze the game just like it did in Marvel's Capcom 2. The fact that you can kind of recover and block attacks is so stupid. But anyway, yeah. The bottom line is, Rapid Slash gets faster, more damage, and punch a bigger hitbox. Move on to the next one. The one you shouldn't use. Where am I? No, it doesn't cut. It comes bigger. Also, another thing too, the double trigger when you call him doesn't deplete the double trigger time. You can call indefinitely. As long as he's not out in the field, he'll remain double trigger indefinitely. And then the timer will pick up right where you picked off. Judgment cut again, just like everything else. Bless me. Ooh. Becomes bigger, but you know, I wouldn't bother using it for anything else. Beta assist. Now this is where it gets interesting for him. This assist comes out so fast. It comes out so fast now. I mean, I wouldn't call it like side bleed or anything like that, but you know, it comes out fast. The hitbox is a little bit bigger. It's still like trash, like comparatively, but you know, it's a little bit bigger. It's definitely faster. If I could do it right. Yeah, it becomes some of the better crossover assist, but besides that, not really using it for much. Again, I think that's like to be determined. See how that worked out. Let's see. Throws, no difference really in any of his throws. Those are basically the same thing. Nothing really special. Alright, so throws are basically the same on the ground. There's no difference between them. If you go to jump height, it's a little faster. If he falls faster, he can recover on the ground faster. So there's that. So, you know, you can dash up and do stuff like that. Now, what happens is it's a little soft beat. Oh, I messed it up. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. Okay, that's actually pretty saucy. I like that. I gotta figure out how to convert that. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty saucy. I gotta work on that one. But yeah, basically, I think the 4-1 you could definitely do it. I don't know. Yeah, that's to be a work in progress. With that. So yeah, you could get a little saucy with it. It's super jump air throws. I think I want to do something. I want to see something. Yeah, I want to get something. I want to get something. Just for experimentation purposes. Okay, that's it. Ooh, that was almost up for it. Nah, I don't think you can do it. No. He has to be able to. Yeah, there's something with that. There's something with that. I feel like, what if it's, okay, alright. We got something a little bit now. We got something a little bit now. So he could probably. Okay, yeah, that's I like that. That's kind of fire. Okay, so what did I say? Air dash. Yeah, the back air throw is a little tricky. I guess you can do that if you want to. That's fun. That's so trash though. You should be able to. Maybe I'm not doing that. Yeah, maybe I'm not doing that. Try it. So close. Ah, well, it's probably better if you get the back air throw. Get a speed boost anyway, so it's probably. Yeah, that's probably the better option. I'm just being really silly. Alright. The Magic Slash double trigger, nothing special about it. The adjustment cuts do not get bigger, unfortunately. Just get a damage boost, and you only get a speed boost. So. Nope, you only get a speed boost for it. It's just regular the Magic Slash. However, summon swords in double trigger, you get a speed boost in an interesting way. Final swords actually hit faster. They actually rotate faster. As you can see there. It's both good and bad because that means that they won't be able to fall out as easy. But the bad news is that I think you use it up the final sword quicker. Because each sword has about 3 hits on it. So, you know, you're using up the hits faster. Yeah. It always hits 17 times. I always hit 17 times. 18 times. Yeah. So the faster your summon sword spins, the faster you use it up. So that is something to be aware of in double trigger. So this also translates to his other sword formations as well. These 5 faster, which is crazy to me. Notice just looking at it right now, the speed of it. Ooh, my battery. So yeah, so summon sword formations, the double trigger, they all speed up. So then there's that. And obviously we talked about a little bit about it before. Extractor, double trigger. Wow, what's my extractor at? That's it. Extractor and double trigger. Cause for concern. Because it becomes too powerful. He kills the whole cast. Dark Vergil, blah blah blah, etc. I'm kind of rushing out, so I'm really hungry. I want food. Oh, all right. You know what? I will get into it later on. In regards to this, but right now I'll just end it right there because then I'm starting to go into like philosophies and team. Oh, let me one last thing with Double Strike before I forget it. You get Dark Angel at the level 3. Technically a level 4 because you need Double Strike to use it, but you gotta remember if you use Dark Angel, you ready to use up all your Double Strike. Does about 600,000 damage, I think it does. Goes about like 3/4 of the screen. Calls it a crumple. You could like boost dash. You could not boost dash. You could dash them into a corner. Another thing about it too is hit them on hard knockdown as well. So yeah, and that basically covers Vergil for the most part. If I'm forgetting anything, just let me know. I'm gonna do a part 2 with this, to kind of go over the philosophies I was thinking about and anything I may have missed, and team composition and etc. etc. And for those who are watching, stay with me this whole time. I really appreciate it. I hope that it helps learn you, it helps you out. If it doesn't, hope it was entertaining. I know it's probably not talking for the most part, but I forgot how much I loved it. Holy shit. Yeah, this was fun. Yeah, I definitely gotta start practicing more. But I forgot about the PAC set. No, I don't feel like going over there. I'm gonna get myself some ramen pizza. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope for those who are coming in afterwards, hope you use it to learn something, or whatever. I'm gonna sign off. Peace out.